Right. You didn't bring up, I want an abortion. You just,
No.
right.
Yeah, I wanted to see how she would lead the conversation. She started in right away talking about their abortion services and the cost of each of those. And she asked me how far along I was. Hello, welcome to ProLife brand,
Where we share our ideas to create a unifying visual identity for the pro-life movement.
This is Kate Yap, along with my husband,
Kai Yep. And our baby too. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pro-Life Brand. In this episode, we're going to be sharing a personal story from last year when we were expecting our baby who was born this year. And so we decided to go to an abortion facility. I don't want to say abortion clinic. I don't like to say abortion clinic. So we went and we wanted to experience how it would be. So let's jump into it. Why don't you set the context, Kate?
Yeah. Well, I was feeling really strongly that we were starting ProLife brand and getting more involved in our pro-life beliefs and just being more active. And I wanted to know, what do women go through when they go to an abortion facility? Like, what does that feel like? And at the time, I was pregnant, so I thought this is a good opportunity to go. And I thought, why don't we just go in and see how it is? So we decided to go together because neither of us really wanted me going there alone. And so we went.
Yeah, we took off our rings, I remember. We were in the parking lot and we thought maybe if we show that we're married, they would believe that we want an abortion. If we show that we aren't married, I don't know.
Yeah.
We were nervous. I was, at that time, I think I had an injury, so I was with my crutches, and I thought it was weird because they would remember me because the next, we went on a Friday. I think that the following Monday, we were going to go pray outside the abortion facility, so I thought they will remember the guy with the crutches, but it was silly. Why don't you paint the picture of how it was getting there and how it looked and how you felt outside?
Yeah, so when you drive in, you have to park in the back, and the exterior is very cold looking. And we had to walk up this stairway, and just approaching it was scary, honestly, and not welcoming. It just felt very sterile. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So we got up to the floor where we had to be, and we rang this intercom, and the door was locked, so they had to talk to us first before they would let us enter. And then we got in. Mm-hmm. And a woman received us, and so we just talked to her at the front desk.
Right, we were just standing there, right, mm-hmm. Right next to the door. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how did that conversation go with this woman?
Yeah, so initially I just asked her, what are my options at this point? I don't know everything that you provide here, so I'm just curious, what options can you give me? I wanted to leave it really broad.
Right, you didn't bring up, I want an abortion. You just,
no.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to see how she would lead the conversation. So, she started in right away talking about their abortion services and the cost of each of those.
Right away.
Right away, it went to the cost. Mm. And she asked me how far along I was. And I was trying to act like I didn't really know, but we figured out together that I was 18 weeks along. And then we realized that the manager of this, we think the manager, was listening in. She was a superior of some kind. And she came over and she said, we won't be able to fit you in until you're in your week 21. And so that's 3 weeks away. And at that point, they informed me the cost would be $1,800 for an abortion. And if I were to wait, then the cost goes up. And at that facility, they do abortions up to 22 weeks. And at that point, it's $2,400. to get it done. And they explained that it would be probably a 3-day procedure at that point for a late-term abortion. And she explained how that would go. And she talked about how the doctor in the end would remove the pregnancy.
Right. They didn't never say baby, not even fetus.
They didn't even say fetus at that time. No. Yeah. They just try to dehumanize that baby in the womb.
Our baby.
Our baby. Yeah. So I'm standing there, like, even feeling him moving around and feeling super claustrophobic, just even thinking about, like, where we are and what they do in this facility. It was very claustrophobic, and it was horrible.
There were a couple women waiting there, right?
Yeah, we did see that. I remember just, like, standing there, like, praying that they would change their minds. We don't know what happened in the end, but...
Yeah.
And they, after we heard about the price, they were kind of quick to say that they have donors that help, like, subsidize the costs if we needed that. And so I just think that it's so sad that people give their money to help support killing children in the womb that are well developed. Like 22 weeks is well developed. So they also referred us to other clinics that would do abortions up to 24 weeks, which is even more, like, that's definitely viable at that point. So she was trying to, like, give me all of these options about abortion. And then I had to ask and say, we're not sure what we want to do. And by the way, did she even address you?
Right, no, I was standing right next to you the whole time with my crutches, not even a comment about that. Weird, but no, she never looked at me, actually. It was like, I was not,
not even there.
Not even there.
Basically.
Yeah, so, that's why when I don't call it a clinic, that it felt very strange.
Yeah, so at that point I was like, we don't know what we want to do. Do you refer out to other services? I know adoption might be an option. And she was like, oh, sure. Let me go back and find some paperwork for you. And so then she went into the back, and how long do you think it took her to come back out?
8 minutes, maybe?
It was like a good long time that we were just standing there waiting.
Yeah.
And she came back out with a few papers. And so one was about a local adoption center that we could call. One was a list of questions to consider if you're thinking about parenting, which at that point you're pregnant, you're already a parent.
Right. It's not that you can choose. That's the whole lie. They have a choice, which is killing your child.
Right.
Yeah. So, I remember these questions. I think in a very different context, some of these questions would be like, okay, kind of like, yeah, I have to think about this, But in this context, they are very leading. They make you feel incompetent, that you just can't deal with parenting and you need a way out,
Yeah. Reading through them, it was like, oh, wow, I don't feel ready to be a parent.
Yeah. Who could be?
Yeah. And then the third paper that she gave me was the consent form for a surgical abortion. So I have that here, and I just wanted to highlight that they talk about the risks of the surgery, and they say that the risks include uterine infection, continuing pregnancy, incomplete abortion or retained tissue, no menstrual period, bleeding, which may require medication or a blood transfusion, perforation of the uterus or nearby organs, laceration or tearing of the cervix, cervical incompetence, blood clots, amniotic fluid embolism, infertility, allergic reaction to medication, and death. And they also talk about the emotional reactions that you could have. And so they even state here emotional distress, regret, grief, loss, ambivalence, flashbacks to the procedure, guilt, anxiety, and depression. So they're very clear that, like, this isn't just like I don't know, your choice and it's all going to be great and you do you. Like, this has serious risks, and it's interesting to see that they know that.
Yeah, it's for you, it would have been a 3-day procedure. Wow. Mm-hmm. With all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just feeling very, like, I was feeling lightheaded and just wanted to get out of there at that point. And that was basically our experience at that abortion facility.
Yeah, I think it is interesting. I just thought about this, but thinking about our baby that we know, that we love so much, and seeing him, grow. There's many parents who go through that. They go to an abortion clinic and they decide to, kill the baby, and that's the end of the story for that baby, not in the hearts of those parents. And some others decide to, thankfully keep the baby, and they have a similar experience to ours probably, where they at least see him or her grow. And I wonder how that would, that being close to making the decision of killing this little person is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's the same person in there as when they're an adult. It's just you're at a different stage.
Yeah. So, after Roe v. Wade was overturned, we obviously celebrated because we had seen a little closer how it is inside this abortion facility. But it turns out this facility is still open in Michigan. Right?
Yeah, right. So there's a law on the books that was a trigger law that was supposed to go into effect when Roe v. Wade was overturned. But we have a very pro-abortion governor. And so right now it's in court, and there's a judge that has agreed to pause that law from going into effect. So the pro-life law is on standstill, and meanwhile at this very facility that we went to last year, they're still doing abortions,
killing babies. Yeah. Well, we actually called this facility today you can see that in a different video that we posted a little earlier, so we'll link that in the description of this one. Check it out. And we forgot to ask about the cost in that video, but we're sharing that here now. We might try to call again. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening in to this video about where we shared about our experience going into this abortion facility. And continue to follow us. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you keep getting notifications if we put out more videos. And then find us on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, and follow us there as well. And you can find out more about our project at ProLifeBrand.com. Thanks for listening.